Righto, just a quick video, because I've spent enough time on this already. If you haven't seen the first one, this is a doorbell. It's taken a little bit more money and a lot more time to finish than what I intended, but for a good turnout. Someone even said, why not just go out and buy one of those £10 doorbells you get from Wilkinson's that play, a number of different tunes. No, just no. It would have saved a lot of time, yeah, and probably it would have cost about the same, but there's no way it would have sounded quite as nice as this. This is an old analog type, the type that goes ding dong, and I've always quite liked them. And this was installed in our home prior to us moving in. It just didn't work. There was no push button by the front door. There was no cabling, and yeah, so I thought it would be just a good little project to get this working. But although it wasn't really practical to run the cable from the top of the stairs and the landing all the way down to the front door, obviously it was just far better to make it wireless. The only problem there is that I've used these little radio devices that work on 433 megahertz, and they're AM, and although they're license free, and they've got a decent range on them, they're quite power thirsty, and there must be a lot of other devices around this area in other people's houses that work on the same frequency, because I'm picking up a lot of unwanted transmissions. And so I would say the biggest challenge on this project is getting the receiver to ignore all those transmissions and only paying attention to transmissions from the push button module. To do that, basically I've encoded my own, let's call it a pulse width modulated signal, using a 555 timer. Yeah, we're still using 555s. And to decode it, over here we've got an AVR. This is an AT-Tiny 85, and there's a few pages of program on there. I'll stick everything like that online. I'll get the connection diagrams neatly drawn up on the computer, the PCB board layouts, the strip board layouts, and the code. I'll stick it in a text file or something, so everyone can see it. Because I do believe in an open source community. I think it's the way forward. Yeah, so now I can move on to other things. First thing I've got in mind is a UV exposure box. That's basically just a bunch of LEDs on a bit of strip board and jammed inside of a box, an enclosure of some type. And I'm going to use it to develop my own PCBs, because strip board is horrendous. It's horrible to design things on. Look at this, for example. That was just a nightmare. To get everything to fit in there onto a bit of strip board was a nightmare. Strip board is a nightmare to begin with, to get everything arranged and to fit on a bit of board. But when it's going in a small enclosure like this and you haven't got a lot of room to work with, it is an absolute nightmare. I haven't made a very neat job of that, particularly on the underside, where I've got lots of little jumpers and links just soldered all over the place. It's not neat at all, so I can't be very proud of that. Whereas over here it's a little neater, but it's still strip board, and it's amateurish. It's strip board is for prototyping, not for finalized projects.